Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I bet you're sick of seeing this page but I was asked by a lovely member, one of my channel members, to do a video on how I'm going to colour the crystals and the background. Now I didn't film any of the background purely because I just blacked it out with Decor Art Americana black acrylic paint, lamp black, my favourite one, my favourite paint. Black paint. So yeah, done all of the edges. Now that's not the background finished with by any means, because I do plan on adding plenty of white gel pen to this illustration. So I think with the gel pen, instead of me going and doing the dots individually, I will do a bit of a paint splatter effect. But you've seen me do that several times, so I don't think you need to see it again on this page. It'll be very similar. It took me longer than I want to admit to do this background, so that's another reason why I didn't film it, because it took me a good 2 hours of concentrating and making sure that I didn't go over the leaves or the flowers or anything. So today's video is about the crystals, and I'm going to use my Prismacolor purely because they smush together really easily. So yes, that, and then my acrylic paint pen that I've used in quite a few videos now. This is my favourite one. So, pick out the colours. I thought I'd pick out the colours together on camera, because I want them to be, do I want them to be blue or the orangey red? I think I want them to be the dark blue shades. Not dark blue, but you know what I mean. So let's try with Blue Violet Lake, which is PC 1079. I will bring you closer when I start to actually colour it. And then a medium one, I think we'll go in with Violet Blue. That was a coincidence, they're both violet blues. And then the very deepest colour, maybe a turquoise shade. Yeah, we'll try that one, which is turquoise. I think it's cobalt turquoise. Half of it's gone now, but it's PC 105, and I didn't say that one, PC 933. So I'll get these sharpened, get everything situated, and then we'll start. I have gone ahead and added a very light blue as well, powder blue, PC 1087, just to do like the smooshing aspect of it. Now that I'm zoomed in as well, if there's any nurses or anything that watch my video, I talked about I had an infected finger, and this is how it has healed, and it's to go TMI, but if I push on it, it's very loose, like it could fall off. What do? Do I need to go back to the doctors? It's not painful or anything, it's just really not nice for the eye. Not nice for the eye. So I thought I'd ask on here. So I'll start off with the Blue Violet Lake. I'm going to do a full base of this. I was thinking about leaving some of the white, but I will do a full base of this. I'm going to do all this cluster together instead of keep switching pencils. But I have just used the Albert Duro watercolour pencils for all of this. I've not used any other pencil for shading. I just went over with a couple of layers for certain areas. That could be blended out a little bit better, but it is what it is. Pencil shavings everywhere. So the way that I do crystals is, it's very random. So I can just, I'll start at the top, pull the colour down, maybe on this side, maybe on this side. I want it coming up. You want it looking really random and not perfect, because you don't see like perfect identical crystals, do you? So maybe go from the left to the right on that one. I have to cover most of that up because you won't be able to see the white, and then up again on this one. We'll do right to left on that one, left to right on that one. We'll do both of these down. Sticking with the blues because I thought it would go nice with the leaves. Same thing with this, just try and make it really random. So instead of going top to bottom, I'm going side to side with this one. Try and let a little bit of that lightest colour peek through. Same thing with that little guy. Now, I'm not sure whether this is going to be dark enough to actually show up. I could have sworn in Prismacolor there was a darker turquoise than this, and if there is, I've lost it. This is the only pencil set that I let get messy because they're my most used ones. And if I stressed out about this, I'd never use them. So, is this the darkest turquoise there is in the Prismacolor? That's not a turquoise though, is it? Peacock green. No, that might be the darkest one though. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, aren't I? I've missed that one. So do bottom to top, top to bottom, and side to side on that one. Bring this turquoise colour in. It won't stand out too much because I've already got that colour down, but you might be able to see a bit of it peeking through. I don't want to put this absolutely everywhere because I want it to be more on the blue side and not on the turquoise side. So I'll just use a little bit of this here and there. Maybe a little bit here. And then I go ahead, it's really easy the way that I do it. I mean, I've seen other people create unbelievably realistic crystals. I can't do that, so I'm just showing you the way that I do it and the easiest way that I find to do it. So with the powder blue, which is PC1086, I'm using this as sort of like a blender. Now you don't have to use this because it will lighten your pencil colours up. You could use the actual Prismacolor blender or the Derwent blender, or you know, whatever you've got to hand. It's just, I do like the look of using a lighter shade to lighten it up ever so slightly with crystals. Just think it looks nice. But I'm not going over the whole of the crystal, so I'm leaving like the very top still quite dark. And then it's up to you at this stage whether you want to go over the top with gel pen or you want to leave it with the edges. I think I'm going to go over the top with gel pen, which I don't do all that often with crystals because I find it quite tedious. But yeah, we'll do it today. Have I got a scrap piece of paper? Probably not. I've got my Artex swatches, which, why have I not put them back in the thing, but I can use the back of it, so that's fine. That they need to go back in the pencil case. Now, it's not a really fine pen, this one. You could use something else that would probably be a little bit better for the job, but I like the way that the ink flows out of this ink paint. I say that and then it doesn't come out very well. I need to give it a good mix and get it activated. There we go. So I'll do this big one. That's better. And I do plan on using gel pen for all these little details, and then I'll use the white acrylic towards the end. And you can also add some like stars or sparkles, which I will do, just to show you how I do it. Now, if I was using a gel pen to do this, I'd be going over several times to get it this opaque. So that's another reason why I love this pen. And I can't recommend it enough. I'm actually going to go over this as well, this line. Otherwise I think it might look a little bit weird. What I might actually do is I'll do this set of crystals and show you how I do it. I'll do the rest of the crystals off camera, and then I'll come back to do the splatters in the background. You know, you might be interested to see how I'm going to do that. And it might be an epic mess because I've used black as my base, but hopefully not. So just like that, and I think it's quite effective. It's quite effective. Isabel's very happy. Very happy. And I'm going to do the other side now. The exact same thing. So we use the blue violet light, which is PC 1079. I'm just using that as a base layer. Just get rid of the white of that paper. It gives us another layer as well to do the smooshing. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's the word that I like to use. So violet blue, PC 933. And I'll turn the book ever so slightly just to make it a little bit easier for myself. Pull the colour down, and I'm going to go across on this one. And same at the top. Just for a bit of variation. And then top to bottom, bottom to top, and then side to side. I really like how that looks actually. I'm really surprised how much I like that, and I think it goes. And once I've added all the I keep saying gel pen, once I've added all the acrylic paint and what have you, I think they're going to stand out beautifully then. So the turquoise, just to deepen up some areas. I don't want to go over it all, just a little bit. Then the powder blue, trying to leave the darkest areas untouched because I don't want to lighten them up too much. And then back in with your acrylic paint pen. I'll do that line first actually this time. I don't want to do any stars on this one because it's a lot smaller. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I will do all the rest and then come back when it's time to do the background, I think. So I've done all the crystals there now, and I've added a couple of details as well here and there. I do want to add just a tiny little bit more of this. Oh, shall I do it at the end? I'll do it now and do it at the end. Just to some of the wings. There we go. It's not going to work, is it? It's not going to work. Me saying how good this pen is. There we go. There we go. Right. So I just want to highlight a couple of areas on the wings. I don't want to outline them. That's not the point of this. Just like that. Probably can't see. I'll bring you in ever so closer. There we go, that should be a bit better now. So I'll just highlight some areas. Now you do have to be brave with this and have a pretty steady hand because everything else is already done. And you've got that really black background. You have to be quite confident with doing this. Add the white back into the eye as well, why not? Maybe on just a few of the scales. I mean, you could go all out for this, couldn't you, and do the whole thing, but I don't want to. I just want to add a couple here and there. And you see the dots that I've added to the flowers as well. I'll do all them off camera. I want all them filled in white. So this little guy down here I want to do. Just Start off here, bring the colour down. I'm going to pull out, I've got some other acrylic paint pens. I'm going to see if I can find a decent yellow or orange to add a couple more details as well. Which the ones that I've got are not the best, so it will take me a little longer to do than this one. I keep saying ink, the paint on this pen, it just flows incredibly well once you've got it started. But them other ones that I've got, they're not the easiest to work with. That's all I'll say. Oops, went completely out of the line then. Let's fix it like that. And if I didn't film it, you wouldn't have known that that had happened. Some down here. I just think it adds just a little extra something to the page. So I'll finish all that off at the end. I will come back right at the end. I'll finish this off in my own time and come back and show you actually what it looks like. So, a little palette. I've chosen to use white, which is extremely empty. I'm hoping I can get a little bit out of it. Also the Deco Art Dazzling Metallics. Dazzling Metallics. Now I'm not overly fussed, it can go wherever it wants, but you can see there, and I'm going to get another one, another cloth, because I've took my white matte up and I'm in the process of moving everything around and decorating, so it's not going down anytime soon. So this will just have to do to protect my desk, but as soon as I've done this I'll take everything off and give it a good wipe over, just so you can see everything. So a palette, I'm going to start off with a white first, and I'll just use a flat brush, and this is just a cheapy one. It's always got glitter on it, whether I use glitter or not, it's always got glitter on it. Start off with my white. Come on, please be some left. There we go. That should be enough for the whole page. Some water. I'm just going to add maybe two drops, just to make it a little bit easier for doing like the flicking technique. But what I'm also going to do is this that I got from the back of the book. I'm just going to put it in some areas, and then if I want some paint over it I can then remove the pieces of paper and then add more splatters. So you will have to be a bit patient with this, because if you try and move it and then you've got wet, it'll just go everywhere. It will just go everywhere. So make sure that my brush is fully loaded. Let me test. So it needs a little bit more water. 2 more drops. And I've not protected this side. I have got a cloth though that should do the trick. I'm trying to do this one-handed. There we go. And just start this paint splatters. I want to move this as well because I need to be quite high up. Now the camera is probably about 1.5 feet away from the actual book, and I'm holding it right up to get more finer paint splatters. The closer that you hold it to your book, I'm even coming down as I'm saying it, it needs to be higher up. The closer you get to your book, the bigger the splatters will be. Now if you don't want the fine ones, so let me just clean my finger. If you don't like messy things, you're probably not going to like this technique because it does get everywhere. And the other way that I'll do it is I'll water this down just a little bit more, just a little bit more, and then flick it on the side of my finger, and it will create bigger splats. But please be warned, I've just got it all over the iPad. It does get everywhere doing it this way, so that's why I do prefer doing it the other way, but you get bigger splatters. I'm going to add a couple more just with this technique, just be a bit safer. Carefully take these away. Like that. So I've just rested it onto the side of the page. Fabulous. Well, that'll add to the effect, never mind. So that already mixed paint that I've got there, I'm going to pop a little bit of this metallic into it. Give it a good shake first. Oh, that one is so pretty. I know it's really dirty, my palette, but it is what it is. Look at that. That's almost like a pearl shade almost. So now that I've added more paint, I'll have to add more water. So that mix round. Do the same thing again. I don't know how much sparkle this will give. I've not used this paint in a long time. My plan is as well, once this is dried, I have been really patient with this page. I've not used the heat gun. I don't think I have. No, I've not used the heat gun with this page. Apart from once getting the masking tape off. Yeah, once it's dried, I'm going to go back over with the acrylic paint pen and fill in some of these areas. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then the page will be done. So I've managed to get it on my desk even though I've covered it, and it's all over the iPad. You can see in real life that it's got a somewhat shine to it, but it's probably not going to pick up on camera. So I will be back with the finished page for you to have a little nosy at. So I've done all my last minute little bits and bobs to it, and I hope that you like it. I hope that you like it. It's just an easy background. When I didn't know what to do, I tend to just go with black acrylic paint and some sort of splatter effect, and I do think it's really effective. It's really effective. So I've just used the Albert Dürer watercolour pencils, acrylic paint and acrylic paint pen. I think that's everything. I think that's everything. But I do hope that you enjoyed this video and you got a couple of tips along the way. Please do leave me a thumbs up. Comment in the comment section. I nearly said description then. Comment section. Are you going to give this a try? The splatter effect is so easy, yet it is so effective. If you've got any tips as well about my finger, I'd really appreciate it. It looks worse there now. It's like it's I don't even know. Like, I should go to doctors and have it removed, but that's the last thing I want to happen. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.